this volleyball game thing is fascinating because I think initially it's like, yeah, it's be a fun one-time thing, but if you can make this kind of revenue on something like this, where it's a game that generally wouldn't draw this kind of, like, I don't know if you can play a big match. I don't know if a good opponent, maybe a good opponent will want to come play Nebraska in this type of match. But having it be in-state, Nebraska versus UNO is really cool. And the amount of money they're going to make on this is incredible.
The amount of money, and then yes, I mean, there's that, and then there's also the prestige element, where you heard Trev, he believes they can threaten the largest crowd to ever attend a women's sporting event.
Think about that
in the U.S. Yeah, it's 90,185 for the 1999 Women's World Cup final between U.S. and China, and Sean, I'm just gonna say, I'll be surprised if they don't surpass that.
Like Trev wants that. Like,
yeah. Of course he does. I mean,
it's to the point they have this concert. If that's going to take away seats, like, do you even need to have the concert? I mean, like, you've already sold it. Like,
that's a legitimate question.
And they won't even say who the band is yet. Or have they announced I don't think they have.
Right. The world record is 91,000 people for a women's sporting event. 91,553. That's the world record. And that's when Barcelona played Real Madrid in a soccer match in Spain in 2022. I mean, Nebraska could set a world record in August.
Yeah, and if that meant like tinkering or adjusting the concert plans, I would do it.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
not a bad thought, Sean.
If you're Trev Alberts, you're like, should we cater to maybe a B-list type country act or a world record?
But no, before you go too far, there might be a contract in place.
No, I know.
Signed, So I don't know. I don't know if it may not be an option.
It might just turn into like a little small karaoke stage. Here's the concert. So we can get the world record.
Right.
It's going to have one guy with one microphone on a small platform.
Well, I mean, honestly, they might be able to adjust stage size, I think you got to think about that. You could set a world record
because if you wanted to, you could put a lot of seats. You could put bleachers on the turf.
Yeah, this is quite a flex by Nebraska. This will be something that gets the university a lot of attention. As Trev said, this is about attracting students to Nebraska too. I mean, this will be an opportunity for a lot of people that never get into that stadium to get in it. They're not going to be able to see the volleyball games, some of them, but it's just you're there, though.
Naturally, I was reading some of the comments on ESPN. You get those people that'll say like, well, because there's nothing to do in Nebraska. Get the hell out of here. Seriously, get the hell out of here. Yeah. Like that's a ridiculous comment.
Right.
Like,
yeah, I mean,
like this is cool. Like this is like, I don't care who you are. Like a game against another smaller Division I college is going to set a world record for volleyball.
Right.
Not World Cup soccer, not a professional sport, a college volleyball game with two teams from a state with a population less than 2 million people.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah. Great idea.
I think John's going to want to do it again.
Yeah. And it's a great idea, and it's been really well executed. And you heard Trev say he didn't expect this. John Cook certainly didn't expect it. I've read a lot of John Cook comments. He did not anticipate this at all. So
it reminds you of like what they do in hockey when they play the game outside.
Yeah.
I mean, like that, they played in football stadiums. I think the Big House at Michigan did one of them there. Mm-hmm. What do they call that? The Frozen Classic
I don't know what the hell it's called, but you're right.
But this is what it reminds me of, is something like that, where it's just so out of the box. I mean, the basketball game on the aircraft carrier. But yeah, we're like, so I'll be curious what they do with the setup.
See, there's the stage the way it is now. Do you move that closer to the 50-yard line? Do you move it closer to I think you got to, right? I mean, they weren't anticipating that south end zone would have a lot of people in it, but it's going to have a lot of people in it.
Yeah. Do you move some of your prime season ticket holders down to the floor and create more floor seats?
Right. Well, those are pleasant problems to have for sure.
But Trev, knowing Trev like we do, he wants the world record. I mean,
yeah. And yeah, I think Nebraska wants the world record.
I mean, people around the world would be like, wait, I mean, this is a headline. Like when this happens.
Oh yeah. It's a big deal.
And it's going to be televised, I believe, on BTN. for sure be.
I would think so. Yeah.
It's but we're going to be in Minnesota
Mm-hmm.
because is it the day before the game's on Thursday night? I want to say the volleyball might be Wednesday.
Yeah.
So,
Abby Barmore.
It's going to be a big deal for Abby.